Hey everyone, Miacidae here, welcome back to Darkest Dungeon. So today on the No Hope Estate, we're going to be making probably a mistake, but it's worth it for the harpoon gun. Well, the harpoon gun is a trinket for the Axolotl, a very good hero on this estate. They have been pulling their weight like crazy, and it gives their skill Hunt Down, which is actually really good and has actually pulled its weight in of itself in this estate, the ability to not have a cooldown. It does lower the damage a little bit, but it still does have a plus damage modifier on it, effectively making the Axolotl a high damager from all rows at all times. So that's kind of why I want to go do this, because as you can see, minus 33% damage on all range skills, but plus accuracy and the plus armor piercing as well, and Hunt Down cooldown is negated. So that's where we're going into another long dungeon rather than doing a boss or just leveling up some of the apprentices again. I kind of wanted to do a marking team getting away from the blights, even though blight would go really hard in here. So for today, we're going to be using, of course, the Axolotl, but also Huang Qi, our Martial Saint. So he's going to be having Azure Dragon Claw. This does plus damage versus marked, plus damage versus anyone that's above 80%. He's going to have Feign Retreat. However, Feign Retreat's going to work a little bit differently because of one of our trinkets. So he's not going to be moving back by 3. However, he still will get the riposte, and he will still debuff the target for minus 18 dodge. I'm going to try something a little different today. We're going to try Azure Dragon's Bellow. This moves him back by 1, hits the middle 2 rows, and shuffles the targets that he hits. And of course, we're taking Azure Dragon's Ascension. He can use this from any row onto any row. This moves him forward by 3. This does more damage the further back the target is, and this has a higher crit rate the further back he is. So this will do the most if he is in row 4, targeting row 4. This also has more crit rate and more damage against a marked target, and he will get and on kill he will buff the party for a plus 1 speed and plus 5 accuracy for 2 combats, and you can get up to 2 buffs per combat. However, it does have a cooldown of 2 rounds. Now for his trinkets, like I said, we're kind of modifying Feign Retreat, and that's because we have the 6 General's Head. This is his Sunward trinket. So his riposte will have a plus 100% armor piercing, so no protection will count for his ripostes, and his riposte will do plus 40% more damage. And on monster kill, he will debuff all enemies to have minus 10% damage, and Feign Retreat will now mark himself, so he's more likely to be hit and will not move himself back. Then for his other trinket, we have the Red Hair. This is his very rare, giving him plus 6 speed and minus 20% damage, so he isn't doing as much, but he does still do a lot versus marked. And his riposte will still do a lot. On monster kill, he will gain an extra action, and on monster kill, he will debuff himself for minus 60% damage until the end of the round. But between his riposte and his high damage versus marked, he's very likely to get an extra action, so he can give himself an extra riposte or just doing a little bit of extra damage to other people, and up to getting himself a second extra action to just do whatever he wants with. Next up we have Axolotl, or, the Foreigner. We're going to have her be doing Skewer. This is damage versus marked. Grudge, marking a target, upping the crits received, minusing their dodge. And if I want to, we have Breach for going forward, armor piercing, lower protection, break and disable guards, or Thwack if I just want her to stay in place and kind of do whatever from row 3 for whatever reason. For her trinkets, we have Dismiss's Head for plus damage. This also minuses max HP. An Observant Grip, so she ignores stealth. We get plus crit versus mark and plus 8 stress when she misses with an attack. Next up, we have Sahar. She's going to be using Touche. This debuffs the target to take 17% more damage. We're not going to be using it in defensive stance, don't worry about that. Next up, we do have Disengage. This buffs her to get plus 11 more dodge. We'll mark the target we hit and switch her to defensive stance, but once again, don't worry about the defensive stance too much. We then have the Boot, knocking the target back by 2, marking the target and dazing the target. I don't really remember what Daze does, so we're going to find out live. From my understanding though, this is the good Daze that is based on debuff chance and will not glitch the game. I'm really hoping, Iris, I'm really hoping. And finally we have Flesh. This moves her forward by 3, removes any dodge debuffs gained from combat skills. An aggressive stance will do more damage and crit, and if you were in defensive stance we'll switch to aggressive and activate a riposte. For her trinkets we have the Spare Grip, which gives dodge and accuracy, and on kill has a chance to give us a Duelist trinket. Then we have the Blade Oil. This gives plus 10% damage on melee skills. All of her skills that we have are melee, and a plus 10% debuff chance. And finally, we have Espec, our half-foot. We're mainly using them to mark and bypass stealth, and debuff for plus damage receive and crits receive. However, other than that, we have Jugular Shot, just in case things can bleed, Guide Attack to clear stun, buff damage, buff accuracy, crit, and ignoring stealth, and Blinding Knife to move back. Finally, trinkets, we have the Ancestors Map, extra scouting, extra disarm, and we have the half-foot Sunward trinket. This gives a blight on hit, a 2-for-3 blight, same attack same chance essentially as the bleed here. It's a 70% chance, but plus 60% chance versus marked, plus 200% blight amount versus anything that's marked. So instead of a 2-for-3 bleed, it goes up significantly. However, I can no longer essentially bleed versus humans or blight versus humans. So with that being said, let's go get our harpoon gun. Taking all the food, I'm not risking it. Bunch of anti-venom, bunch of bandages. We're gonna take medicinal herbs, a few keys here. Actually taking holy waters for the curios, and torches. Hey, the Harbinger is back. Since I don't have blight, he could be really interesting this time around. Like, really interesting.
Pace out the halls of your lineage once familiar, now foreign.
So I do want to do this right set of rooms first, because we have to explore all the rooms. I do like the little cultist lanterns there. I'm going to come back for these. Alright, Leering Grotesque. We want that in the Banshee down first, I think. Yeah, I'm going to mark the Banshee of the Bone Wraith. She's going to do a lot of stress damage. So I can leave that to the Foreigner. I can do Asia Dragon's Ascent, taking out the Bone Conscript, buffing everyone, debuffing the enemies. Because I took someone out, I'm going to do Feign Retreat, lowering their dodge, getting a riposte. I almost took them out with the riposte there. I'm going to do Flesh, hoping to... let's take out the Gargoyle. Actually, no, if I do Flesh, the Foreigner can't do anything to the Wraith, so Gargoyle down.
Another one falls. The abyss.
And then Skewer onto Wraith.
The boldest gaze.
Gonna, we can't shuffle, but I think that's the only thing that I have that can hit the Grotesque. So that's a cool little move. I'm gonna Skewer onto the Grotesque, and down it goes, because it crit. Take the Sapphire, take the bandage.
That overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Yeah, we'll take the gold with the bandage. Torch up. Probably should have done that earlier. Ooh, Slavering cultists. They're gonna hurt. And they are human, so I'm not going to bleed or blight them. We'll mark one of them. I do want to see if I can take anyone down with Ascension here. No, I'm not gonna. So we're just gonna Feign Retreat, lowering the dodge, getting a riposte. Touché.
Impressive.
Up damage received. So it's gonna take a lot more damage here, and then skewering.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Not a very good start, but we'll see what happens here. Now we're off. That riposte does some work. And they're gonna guard. So, let's do mark weak point. Now I do extra damage because of Mark. Almost took them out just with the riposte. If I do the boot, what's gonna happen here? They are dazed. Let's do Ascension again.
Confidence surges as the enemy
Get those buffs going, that speed and accuracy. Because I took someone out. You do extra, get an extra turn. Just gonna go at the ghoul. Skewering the ghoul.
decimated.
Just Gladiator left.
As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Take the money. Take the anti-venom. Leave the busts for now. I will heal up a little bit there.
Packs laden with loot.
I'm gonna leave these.
Low on supplies.
And moving to the right. I'll come back for this stuff. I don't need to default party order. Alright, torch up. And empty room. Kind of cool looking room, but moving on along. I'm gonna de-stress a little bit here. Because that actually may be useful. Every time I move and try to torch, we hit a trap. Every time we haven't scouted. I need to learn my lesson. Alright, torch up. This trap right here. Who's good with traps? 70, 90, 80. Well, if the person who's not stressed out can't do it, we're going with like the over 100% chance. Torch up, and we get a fight.
May we find victory.
Alright, marking the Gladiator. We're gonna go for the people who are gonna damage us. Alright, will Ascension take him out? Probably not, but Claw will.
Continually
And after I Claw, I can do Feint and Retreat once I get my action back. I'm gonna Touche to up the damage on the Slavering Cultist. Skewering him.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
I was hoping I would get my action by now. There we go. Feint Retreat, lowering dodge. Once again, upping the damage on the Slavering Cultist, because they have 41 health apiece. 1 minute. It's windy today, and the wind ripped open my screen door, so I heard something slam and went, someone didn't just open my door, right? No, the wind did. Yeah, we'll still mark the Cultist. Taking Cultist out, 64 damage crit. I get plus damage received does that. And this may take him out? No. The riposte almost did the job though. And then if we Azure Dragon Ascension him down, we get the buffs. Plus speed, plus accuracy. Now, one did wear off because, well, one of those was from a previous battle. Take the money. And we can leave the crest for now. Now we get to move back. We'll be fine on the torch. Ooh, Ardent armor. How do we want to do this? We will blight them if we got a decent chance even if they're not marked. We'll go for the Ardent armor first, just because I don't want the riposte. Skewering him. If I do Azure Dragon Bellow, he's gonna go down. Or I can just do Ascent and take him down. And that still gets us the buffs.
A brilliant confluence.
I get the extra action, which I don't think I'm going to do enough to anyone to take them out again, so we'll do Feint Retreat, lowering dodge on the marksman. And then we're gonna do Touche, upping the damage they receive. Ooh, good dodge. And they're gonna damage their own person.
Knowing uncertainty.
I mean, yeah, I would be a little afflicted by that too. Like, why are you doing that? If I bellow, the marks... Oh no, we can't hit marksman with that. Claw still isn't going to do enough, but I guess we can go for the bellow. We might take out the corpse, shuffle the bulwark a bit.
A singular strike.
Then, if we trying to think of how this might go best. We flush. If Daze probably won't do anything about the guard, so we still have to work through that. What we could do, because we don't have anything that goes through guard, right? Breaks guard. But then I don't have anything big for these guys, but we can do plus damage receive on the Bone Jailer, I suppose. And that would just leave the bulwark. Mark weak point on him. It's not going to do much, but might blade him. We got the blight, so I mean, we can leave him alone now and just go for the bulwark. That gets me my extra action, actually. Can Azure Dragonclaw take him out? Giving me an extra action again? I mean, that's how I really saw this working.
Diminished.
And then I can't even damage him, so I'm just going to do Feign Retreat, getting rid of his dodge, getting my riposte reactivated. And then we skewer. Probably should have just grudged, but that's fine. And then the riposte hardly even does damage. Upping the damage he receives. I'm gonna guide attack, because if he only has 1 speed, and I ascension him, we get the speed buff. Taking what we can.
As victories mount, so too will resistance.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Realistically 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to need 16 of the torches. If things go well, minus a few for the firewood. I can get rid of some of the torches here.
The light, the promise.
So we'll do that. Take the onyx. I would like to start bringing some of these heirlooms back, but yeah, we'll do this for now. Heading back down. Almost thought there was eyes behind some of those there for a second. And there's eyes all over the place here, but I really gotta say, I don't know what it is about this room, but I love it. Like, the shattered glass and all that really just makes it feel like are we on a second level here? Because we can hardly see anything in the background, but I just love it. All the landscapes in the background. Like, it's not just the upfront stuff I like here, it's like all the stuff way in the back.
Glittering gold.
Here's those deeds coming back to haunt me.
Paid for in blood.
Like, I'm really thinking about, like, using one of the firewoods just to get some scouting chance going or something like that. Yeah, screw it. Because then I also get, like, damage buffs and stuff like that. Heal up, get stress down.
Tenuous firelight. Easy companionship.
think that's the only prevent nighttime ambush I have. So, alright. Excellent hearing, prevent nighttime ambush, minus chance party surprise. If I do detailed maps, that's plus scouting chance. Amazing scouting chance. I wanted to do flick here because that is riposte, and then I would only have 3 left. So I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the other 3, if anything. Because I'm a little... Oh, all companions plus accuracy dodge would be... That would be good. But plus 15 stress. Or I could do displacement for the plus dodge. So otherwise I can do plus damage on the Martial Saint. Yeah, screw it. We'll take the stress, do Martial Saint's training, get the dodge, get the accuracy. And we can do flick, and that's a passive riposte for 4 battles on the Duelist, which probably will help us out more than I'm thinking it will. That way we have 2 riposters going on, one who's marked.
The match is struck. A blazing star is born.
Can take this torch and then immediately use it.
As
Just
the
adding to the
gains
light
purchase,
that I have a little
spirits
bit.
And purpose
I'm gonna go
is
up to
made
this
clear.
room and immediately use this trap to de-stress before going back in, then going to the left. Alright, we can use the Errant for some loot. Alright, I've gotten a few of those dolls now. Take the Jade. I should really be looting with Espec, just because he gives me more tools and stuff like that, provisions. So, like, I could technically get food with him. Marking the Ardent armor, seeing if we can't blight him. Which is probably a no, but still. Touche for damage received. I'm gonna... Since Skewer can hit row 3, I'm gonna mark the Jailer for later. Because the Martial Saint's gonna be taking out the Ardent armor. Like so. I was hoping that I was gonna get a crit off, but I wasn't gonna risk that. Feign Retreat. Lowering dodge, getting that lovely riposte, and we'll see what happens with these veterans.
A devastating blow.
Well, 2 out of the 3 went for him. And then the other went for a person who has a passive riposte. So Ascension taking out the Jailer in the back. That gives us the lovely little boost here. We are... I'm just going to do Guide Attack here on the Martial Saint. That way I can do the... Oh yeah, she, I forgot she has a thing that just ignores stealth. We're going to go for row 3, taking that out, and then the Martial Saint can take out row 2. I thought. Still had the debuffs, I think. Yeah, for 1 battle round. Take 1 torch,
So
use
clearly
the other,
viewed. Or is
use
it
a bit of
merely
food,
a
take the
trick of
buffs,
light?
take a little bit of gold I can, leaving the rest. Martial Saint gets a suit of armor. Up we go. Hey, Reinforced Harbinger. So we are marking him. Then I want the riposte, so Feign Retreat, lowering his dodge. He has 30 protection. That does not lower protection. But Breach does. So we're gonna Breach. So only 8 protection now. Touche, up damage received.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands.
Well, I mean, Riposte did its job, and then I get an extra attack here. I'll send her to the back, that's not good. Touche, up damage received again. Lovely little crit. We're a little bit hurting here, but that's fine. We're going to do breach moving forward again. And down it goes. Thought that would be a little bit worse, but we did the damage.
Be wary.
I
Triumphant
don't want to use all this food, but I do need to heal up. And then I'm going to get rid of the 2 food for the memory. Huangqi. Take the Altar of Light. So 20% damage until camp. Another one I'm going to put on him. 40% damage until camp. It's going to go great with those ripostes. Torching up.
The way is lit. The path is clear.
We're going to pop down for the curio.
To follow it.
What's in the bag? It's a map. Lovely little scout. Going up. Room, hallway battle, and I get to search with a key. Which didn't get me much. It did get me some busts there. Thing I'm curious about is if I want to take the portraits at all. Because I do need them. You know what? We'll get rid of the jades. Torch up. Battle. Oh, unholy hell. Okay. So Grotesque, it's gonna have a move on like turn 2 or turn 3 where if I don't take it out, it's gonna do a lot of damage. The Seraph, we already know how bad this thing is, and the Golem, this thing can hit like a truck. It can get a riposte. I think it can get some damage reflect. It's bad news. So this fight, ouchie. So I think realistically what needs to happen is I need to take out the Seraph, then the Grotesque, then the Golem. I can take out the Seraph turn 1. Maybe Grotesque turn 1, if not turn 2, then everything goes at the Golem. Yeah, that's going to be the plan. So mark weak point.
A decisive pummeling.
It's blighted. That's best case scenario. Touche, up damage received. So that's going to get around some of its protection. Blighted for 6. And it has 6 health. It goes down. I don't need to worry about the Seraph. I'm going to skewer on the Grotesque. And then if I Azure Dragonclaw, it goes down. And then, because they went down, I can feign retreat, getting rid of the Golem's dodge and getting a riposte. And we're stunned. And it did have a damage reflect.
Unforeseen.
40% damage reflection if in shield mode. Ouchie. And it stunned a second one. I don't think it has a damage reflect anymore. Its mode is indicative of whatever weapon it has right there. So right now it's in sword mode. Thought it was in sword mode. Plus 20% damage reflection if in shield mode. So it's in shield, I guess. Mark weak point. So damage reflection is kind of dangerous around riposters. But if we do skewer, gonna take like, what? What? 60% damage reflection. Why are we not taking the damage reflection? Oh, it's not, I guess it's not in shield form. It's just saying it will have that shield reflection if it's in shield. It's in sword right now. Okay. And then jugular shot, because when we... Actually, what we'll do is we'll mark it again, and that's still going to blight it. Blight for 6, it goes down.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless...
Did not know the Seraph had a trinket. Statue Fragment. Rare. Plus 30% damage, plus 5 crit, minus 2 speed. You can no longer be guarded and you can no longer riposte. On being hit, you debuff yourself for minus 30% damage and 5 crit. Oh. There are situations where this would be really, really good. On the other hand, you take a single hit and this is no longer good at all. A single hit. But someone with really high dodge here, like Zahar, this is amazing on. Because she's hardly taking a hit at all. She can already buff her dodge. I kind of want to see what she's like with this. And I think that just got rid of her passive riposte, but that's fine. I'm going to get rid of the anti-venom just so I can keep my trinket. And then we'll move on. Isn't this the necromancer room? Anyway, go up for the curio. This was what the anti-venom was for. Medicinal herbs. Don't want the money. I'm thinking I'm gonna do a camp after this room battle. Do I get a gem? I got emerald. It's a little risky for me to get rid of the bandages, just because I'm pretty sure some stuff in here can bleed me. I'm trying to think what actually can bleed me. The Gaoler. There's the Terratooth. Pretty sure the Golem can bleed me. I know the Manticore can, but I'm not sure if the Manticore is in Veteran or if he's only in Champion dungeons. The Manticore actually can blight me as well, and that's why I was also bringing a few other things. And I know there's a few modded stuff in here that can also blight, but... And of course, if there's any of the Iron Crown things in here that can go into any of the base 4 areas, they can bleed me. Especially the Hatchetmen, the dogs. But they're really rare. We'll risk it. Risk it for the biscuit. Food check. That camp ain't gonna be as good anymore. Oh, I might not want to do the camp because plus 40% damage. Okay, marking. Marksman. I'll take him out. He does the most damage. I can probably just take out the Veteran here. High-end damage takes him out. But considering her trinket allows her to bypass stealth, that's kind of a good pick. Ascension, take out Marksman. I get extra action. We're going to do Feign Retreat, lowering dodge on Wraith. And then Touche, taking out Conscript. Just Wraith left. They're not going to do actual damage to us. I stand mistaken, but they're mostly a stress person.
Fear consumes the mind.
And then just taking them out. Taking what I can. Kind of surprised I got an emerald there.
brought low.
I think I can get rid of a
into the mud.
negative quirk here. You know, haphazardous wouldn't be a bad one to get rid of. Now my torch lasts longer. 80% chance to get rid of stress. We'll take it. Thought I could burn that for some torch. We'll burn our torches. Ooh, I was kind of not expecting the Coven here. Oh, they count as human, so I'm not going to bleed or blight them. Marking weak point on the Arbiter, since he's the only one technically that Wonky can hit. Then, you know what? I'm just going to do Claw. Claw most likely takes the Arbiter out. I get extra action, which is going to be Feign Retreat. Even though this doesn't get rid of dodge on anyone else, this still gives me my mark and my riposte, which is actually a little dangerous, but such as it is. And then getting rid of the corpse. Now you... I'm not sure we're going to get rid of a rogue, but we're going to try. That lovely dodge. Now you can go for the Naturopath, because they're still stealthed. I can claw onto the rogue who goes down.
A powerful blow.
I think I have to pass my turn that I just got with Wonky. I can't do anything with Sahar. But Espec can take down the Naturopath. Lovely. Taking what I can.
These nightmarish creatures can be fed.
I'm gonna leave this stuff, unfortunately. Key.
A fortune.
Not sure what I was expecting. We can go back. I really want to heal, but at the same time, I only have 3 food checks left to cover quite a bit of distance here, so kind of got to make it last. We'll leave that torch up. Fight. Oh, Lumberjack. Errant dead. We'll mark them. Then Asia Dragon Claw takes him out. Really, it didn't take him out. That is kinda bad. Skewer does take out the Errant dead. Make sure to do that. I'm gonna up the damage received on the Lumberjack. There goes like half of his health, that's nice. And he's gonna wreck us. Yeah. Okay, so if I Ascension, I can maybe take out the Conductor, get my extra action, Feign Retreat, get my riposte. Wonky gets hit, he's probably going to Death's Door, so I will need to heal. Up damage received on Lumberjack. Mark him for more damage. Thankfully he's pretty slow, so I will get the Skewer here, which does take him out. Okay.
The greater the glory.
Kind of worried about Wonky getting hit there. Alright, taking the crust, then taking what we can, leaving the rest.
Push on to the task's end.
Ooh, lovely scout. So because it's Explore Room battles, I'm gonna be silly. I'm gonna go up and around. That explores more rooms, and that way I have the safety of running and getting me the food checks
Even the
earlier
seems
if
on
I need to.
passage.
Because once I explore, like, to this room, I believe, in the far right, I can leave. But I will try to get the last few rooms. I'm just not sure that it's gonna happen. At least I got that torch. I might need it. There's 3 left. Oh, that was not complete. I'd have to do 1 more room. This is medium, not a long. That's right. So, taking the sconce. Taking the torch. Then we go left. Torch up. Use the holy water. I mean, that's some nice stuff. Taking what we can. Really, I can't take the whole medicinal herbs. I have a full stack. Okay. I will take the ruby because it looks like I can complete this without needing more shovels. And we'll just see what happens. Alright. At least the Terratooth doesn't wake up for a few turns, so I can take out the rest rather easily. Or at least, you know, I'm gonna try. And they are surprised. So we're gonna Ascension, taking out the Marksman. Like that was a guarantee. Then I get my extra action. I'm gonna Skewer onto the Veteran. There's a pretty good chance I was gonna take him out, but I didn't. Touche, upping damage on the Noble if not taking him out. Bane Retreat. Not sure if this is actually gonna wake the Terratooth up. But minus damage, minus dodge there. Wonky's on death's door, however, just Terratooth left.
Approaches.
I guess Bellow. Marking him, waking him up. He's also blighted for 6. I wish he was a little more accessible. I'm gonna take out a corpse. That way everyone can hit him. If I Ascension again, he only has a little health. And then Touche takes him out. Taking what we can. A few more gems, leaving the busts.
But a
I'm
victory
gonna eat the food I can on Huang Qi. Leaving me with a food chuck left, or 4 food to camp with. We'll see what happens. Altar of Light. 60% damage until camp. Oh, that's gonna come in handy. Torch up. I don't think I want to go to the battle down here. But we will. We'll try to get these last 3 rooms. Oof. Marking Leering Grotesque, upping the damage it receives. I might have a chance of taking it out. Actually, we can just Skewer it. Or miss the Skewer. That's actually not great. Ascension? Ascension takes it out. I get an extra action. Out of curiosity, what would Claw do here? Claw has a chance to take out the Jailer. I'm kind of tempted to take it. And then we take out the Jailer as is. Okay, just the 2 Spearmen left, which actually have a chance to realistically hurt.
Mortality clarified in a single strike.
Okay. Do I still have... No. I was checking to see if I had the damage down, and I don't. Yeah, taking out Spearman. Trying to. He has 4 health left. I'm gonna Flesh. Flesh does not... Yeah, Flesh does hit. So, Flesh onto Spearman here. Spearman down. I think that might have been through the heart. And then we can Jugular Shot on the Spearman. Spearman down. Woo! Little risky. Taking what I can. Cult Party Order.
Success.
You know what, screw it. I'm going to use the torch, take the portrait. I can leave when I want. I'm going to use the skeleton key.
Wealth beyond
Again,
measure.
taking the
Awarded to the brave
busts.
and the foolhardy alike.
You know what? We'll go down to this battle. There is another Spearman. He's high priority. However, I will mark I don't even think I need to mark the conscript. I'm gonna mark the spearman just so I have ease of taking him out faster. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Touche taking out one of the conscripts. I thought. Azure Dragon's Ascension taking out spearman. We'll see how this works. Now I can claw and take out a conscript. I get another action. And now I'm going to feign retreat to get the riposte. And then skewer hitting the veteran. I was really hoping to take it out there.
Perched at the very
Wonky's on death's door.
oblivion.
If he gets hit, he's screwed. But he just took it out. If we Ascension... Nope, that's not going to work either. We have the hope of shuffling him and putting him in the back row. Well, he survived the death door check. At least we got that. Marking him. And Touche taking him out. Woo! Alright, we are healing. And I'm just going to take the money. I think I'm good with this. the one death door check was enough. I don't like... I'm really tempted to go here. I really am. But, you know, we'll go to the fight. I can always get rid of the firewood for something. But if I get a hunger check, it's over. There's another plus damage. Okay. Okay. Marking a marksman. Because they're what's going to do damage to me here. Got him blighted. Azure Dragon Ascension, one of them goes down. I get my extra action. Can use that extra action to take out the Bone Noble. Getting an extra action. We're going to use Skewer to take out the Wraith. Now there's just the marksman left. Feign retreat, lowering the dodge. They try to go at Espec, which is perfect. And then we're going to flesh. Fight over. Taking what I can out of this. I'm going to get rid of the firewood because we can't use it. Default party order. We're going to up his damage even more to 80%. There's 2 more battles in a curio. So they are surprised. The Imperfect Observer is not going to do anything to us round 1. It's going to buff them. So we want the Spearman down, because realistically he's going to do the most damage. I'm going to Azure Dragon Ascension him. He's down. I can take out the conscript. Now they do less damage. I'm going to skewer, hoping to take out the Imperfect Observer. Just the gargoyle left. We're going to do a little damage to him.
Executed with impunity.
Or crit and take him out. Wonky, you do you, sir. Crazy man, you do you. Guided by the light. And if I knew what that last curio was, I'd happily give things up. We're just gonna get rid of the medicinal herbs for 1,000 gold. and then a crate with heirlooms in it. So I'm going to take what I can, which I guess is nothing. We're going to get rid of the holy water and use it for the deeds. And give Huanqi a little bit of a buff, because if he gets hit, we're screwed. In we go. Last fight. Do we dare do it? Realistically, Marksman is the only one who's going to do real lasting damage to us. Like the nobles here, if they crit, they can do a lot. And they can make him go down stress-wise. But we want the Marksman down. That gets us an extra action. And thankfully they didn't go at Huanqi there. So we're going to go at rank 3, so I can use all the extra actions I get at rows 1 and 2. I'm going to up damage received on the Bone Wraith. And we're going to see if we can take out the Bone Noble, which is utterly insane. Now 9 health left on the Wraith. We can do 6 to 12, which is stupidly ridiculous with this red hair. And that actually just takes her out, if I remember right, and does a whore. So, take the money. Do I want the money over anything? I gotta take a picture of this. Nah, I think I'll leave the gold. I think that's the most fun I've had with a modded class, just doing a basic run in a while. Iris, you have created a monster. Oh, thank you for making the Martial Saint. Thank you for making this. Red hair is a little broken. It might need to be nerfed a little bit. I know that only worked because I had the plus damage until camp things, and we had other, like, things working. But red hair might need to be nerfed a little bit.
The great ruins belong to us.
So that did get me my harpoon gun for the foreigner.
They hold.
Whole reason we went in there. 17,000 gold in looted treasure, leading to a whole 29,000 gold and a lot of heirlooms. Oh, and a memory. I forgot about the memory, so that's going to be really, really good pretty soon. Axolotl hit level 4, got Sunward Adventurer. Espec hit level 4, no negative quirks, no diseases. Amazing run. Don't need to worry about that. Huanqi, please go to the Abbey, sir. Can we upgrade the Abbey so you get more stress recovery?
A man in a robe.
Reduce treatment costs.
In communion with the divine.
Perfect.
Madness.
Perfect. Checking the stagecoach. Nothing we need. Nomad wagon. Realistically, nothing I need. So I'm not sure where we're going to be going from here. Just checking around for some trinkets. There are some fun stuff, but I'm not sure it's worth, like, going gung-ho about. So, with that being said, we have a lot of people to still level up. I might be focusing on that. We have 2 memories, which means I need a lot more shards. A lot more shards than I originally intended on using. So I might be going to the farmstead, leveling those people up again just to get the shards. Unfortunately. But that does mean to use the memories, I need like 200 more shards. On top of the fact of what I wanted for the trinkets. So that's probably going to be the next few episodes. Getting the people up to veteran and going from there. So that's probably the agenda for the next few episodes. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I'll see you next time, and please, have a good one.